Welcome to the Hampshire 1900 start for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 1st of August 1961. Now, the original plan for this video was to populate Southsea so that we could get a working population in here so that we got some protection for the buildings to prevent them burning down with fire. And then, of course, that would then lay down a precursor to actually start bringing this area online. Well, unfortunately, that has not gone to plan. And this is another thing about the quirks in this game, because if I come and show you here, we've only got 69 adults over 21. Now, what I could do is go ahead and populate this using immigrants, but that would mean I'll be spending lots of unnecessary money, and the risk is still pretty great, because one of my tactic was to be able to get the heating plant in here before winter, but things aren't looking quite so good now. And of course, if you saw what flashed up here, we've now researched increased birth rate. The reason for that is that what we're going to do in this part now, it's going to be a bit of a mixture. I'm going to carry on trying to drive forward. Once I go to high speed, drive forward to get this area more and more prepared for when the population needs to move in, because one thing we are going to need is possibly trams out here, but maybe to start with we use buses. Now, I suppose the best thing the next thing I want to do is explain what actually went wrong. And what went wrong was over here in Eastleigh. Now, if I turn on the overlay, I don't know whether it's still going to show. If I turn on the overlay, you'll see that the health in this area is very low, despite the fact the average being 88%. You can see through this area here, the health is very low. And basically, I don't know if there's still any residual in here. If I turn on the waste, now I think we've actually started clearing up the waste. It's a little bit contaminated. What happened here was the consequence of a couple of parts ago, we finally researched waste separation edification. If you're not sure what that actually is, it's this research in waste management. And down here, this one here, we did it in 1959, 2 years ago. Waste separation education. And what that actually did was I started producing a lot more bio waste here, and the result of that was the fact that these dumps filled up with bio waste, and then that caused pollution, and then that actually reduced the health rate. So while we didn't exactly have a population collapse, as you can see here, because the number of 21s never went under zero, but I had 1,300 over 21s in here, all set to go to Southsea, and I don't know if I can actually show it. If I see there, the population came down. Yep, thank you, game. So you can see it started on the. Well, if we go back a couple more, you get a better profile. You can see it started back in about May 1961, dropped off progressively, and it's now started to kind of recover again. And that downward curve was representative of us losing the over 21s, because although it says working workforce, the over 21s are actually included in that title. And as I say, what actually happened is this area here filled up with bio waste, and then that backlogged into there, and it caused pollution. One change I've made since the end of the last video is that I've now got a gravel drop-off point here, which is being used by my and it's this one here. Yep. Actually, we'll rename you, or you call it gravel drop. Now, it took a little while to actually get people into here, but the reason I built this is the fact that this area here was starting to struggle with respect to keeping the concrete and all that going, which I actually need to build this down over here, especially the tunnel. So the tunnel here started to stall, and you can see what's actually happened. Now I've got a regular supply of gravel. Well, the gravel being delivered is for road construction or construction in general. The gravel that's being produced here is being used to drive our concrete plant and the asphalt plant here, and also it's well, that's about it. So we've now got a little bit more control over what's actually going on here. So hopefully that is going to be okay, and hopefully we're going to build up our population. This is building on fire. Doncaster. Well, I was going to come over to Warstock anyway. That should be okay. So as I say, the focus of this electricity problem, that could be a problem. Where's that? Why have we got... Oh, this is just the wind turbine. I put a wind turbine in here purely to provide additional support for this area. Anyway, so as I said, what I'm going to do in this part is we're going to give a little bit of a more general update about what's going on, and we're going to work on a few bits and pieces, because I think that we've come a long way, and because we're starting in 1960, I think it's quite important to actually see this. So we're just going to get rid of that. So seeing we're in Milford-on-Sea, we'll just start here. Milford-on-Sea generally is going pretty well. We're getting quite a lot of tourists in here. So you can't visit a pub or tavern, but there should be a pub here somewhere. Got an indoor pool. But generally the money's rolling in. If I show you the economy as well, I think if we go to this year, you can see we've actually made a loss this year. That's mainly down to the sheer number of vehicles that I've had to bring in to populate new buildings and things like that. Also, building maintenance is starting to become a little bit of a problem, but I think it's actually, I mean, hopefully that will go. I think last year we're losing money overall, and this is something that I do need to address. But our biggest, well, exports are looking good. The problem is that we are exporting a lot of mixed waste, and I do need to address that. Imports, our biggest costs are steel and electronics. We got some residual effect for clothing, which still needs to be addressed as well. So you can see the economy is okay, but it's not strong, and that's quite a key thing that I do need to address. Otherwise, eventually we're just going to run out of money, and if we start borrowing money, we could end up in serious trouble. As I say, generally in this area here, train waiting too long. I'll just go quickly over this area. I did have a problem with the steel mill, in the sense that the steel mill had to be maintained, and therefore the steel shut down. Let's just see if we can sort that train out. And over here, we're slowly pulling together what we need for Lymington here, which we're going to need to actually provide a stronger workforce to there. Let me just see where that train is. It's probably conflicting with the construction train. What's up with you? Oh, it's the construction train coming back. Yeah, I'm having problems with the construction trains here, simply because the way that everything is structured up here. I don't think I'm ever going to solve that problem until such time as this area here has been kind of fully electrified. But what I'm currently trying to do is actually, you can see here, we've got a route. What I'm trying to do is build in these rail links here, and also out to here. Actually, I think what I would like to do is in these guys. No, we need to get that built. Okay, we're just going to come here. I'm going to allocate you to there and get those built as well. And I'm going to put you high priority, you high priority, and you high priority. The reason I want to make this actual crossover here is the fact that if I can get this done and we can get all this built in, this becomes complete, because I can't see me adding anything else to this area here. With the respect to the conversion to electrification, I've done the prep work out here, but I think we can get, I don't know, I built a crossover out here quite a long way. It's right out, it's out here somewhere anyway, guys. I pushed out a very long way because I was getting too many crossovers in here. It's out there somewhere. But you can see we've actually got the electrification on this end out this far. We are slowly pulling this area together. The other thing I'm also currently trying to work on, what are these guys doing? The road crew. You've got a couple of unfinished roads, but what I am trying to do is actually asphalt in some of these sections here as well. Get that done. Yeah, obviously all our guys are out doing things. And the other area where I'm trying to asphalt in areas is down here, just to try and improve this area here. I don't really want to go out here just yet because we're in the middle of the harvest cycle. We've got to here. I think what we can do is connect that up and push you out to there. And what I'm using is this construction office here to localize this, because it picks it up automatically. And what I'm trying to do is get an asphalt road into here and also up to the farm. Again, it's got more to do with just trying to improve the road connections. And what I would like to do is asphalt this road through so that we've got a strong asphalt road connection to this area here. As I say, this area is ready to go. It's got partial power. One thing I have done is I've changed this so that what we've got here is a direct connection to this little stone yard here, which is going to produce the gravel, which is going to flow into here, which is we're going to use to make the chemicals for here, which will then in turn be used for the dough. Thank you, game. Actually produce these here. I'm not really sure what. Yeah, so you're delivering to there. But of course, all this area is at very, very great risk. It's one of the reasons why I'm getting a little bit paranoid about fire. Oh, okay, but Easties, no problem. So everything around Southsea is good to go. The one thing we've got left to do, we've now got the power line. See, this is an example of the fact that we've now got power into here. And we got electric substation there. Now, I suppose what I could do, and again, it's going to be a little bit of a risk, but this is, yeah. Why is that not destroyed by fire? Okay. What do we lose here? Wow. That is a big problem. Because that is the, or was the pickup point for here. What happened there? We had a fire station here. I think again this is a consequence of losing workforce in this area. Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay, we're going to have to rebuild this. Luckily, it wasn't one of these. Yeah, I think what I'm going to need to do is actually improve the workforce in this area. Because we do have a bit of a problem with the workforce. Yeah. I just love this game sometimes. So we're going to need to clear this. This is 21 tons of mixed waste. I suppose what I should do now is give you a review of this area is pretty good. If we go back to Warstock, apologies for jumping all over the map, but I'd rather do things as sections. No, we're in Milford-on-Sea, not Warstock, sorry. You can see here we've got quite a lot of mixed waste here. We've got the ash situation kind of under control. Who is moving the ash? Right. Yep. And what it means is if I go to this dump, load here, and what we can do is now clear out this dump here. Yep. And what we'll do is empty this dump out so that it can then be used. So that is so we're in control. I think the problem at the moment is that there's no real flexibility should anything serious happen. Before we move on, I just want to check our road guy out here is working on this. I think what I would like to do is, but to do it, we're going to need to make a put a gravel road in. Let me just do this. Oh, a mud road, not a gravel road. What am I on about? Come off it, game. What's burning down now? Yep, the game is taking revenge out. We've lost a block of flats now. Yeah. Okay. I think we've got a crazed arsonist in our what we call it, our economy at the moment. Now this could be a bit more consequential. Luckily it's an actual dwelling and we've got plenty of spare dwellings. This is 60 tons of mixed waste. Let me just see where we're actually dumping to the customs shed at the moment, because I think of all the three, the one that's under the most pressure is this one up here. Oh no, it's not under pressure. Okay. Demolition office. You can dump the mixed waste. I'm going to give you permission to... You can dump into there. So our waste is under control, but it's very, very fragile. Is probably the best way to explain what's going on. And this is the way the game actually works, is you need to keep an eye on things. You can't just sit back and say, right, I've fixed that. We're never gonna have a problem at all in this area, because it will get in your way eventually. So it looks like we're laying this track out here, which is good. We've actually laid one of these as well. I think what I most likely will have to do is electrify these before we do it as well. Oh, we got two trains working up here. That explains what's going on. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. So we've got, this is going to be our steel delivery here. We got a traffic jam, which is going to be around the biofuel plant. Yep. Oh, this is the other. No, it's not this one. Oh no, we got queue here. What are you guys queuing up for? What are you dropping off there? You shouldn't be dropping off there. You should be dropping off there. Actually, should you be dropping? Yeah, you got white gap there for waste. While we're going on, as I say, Southampton is expanding. We got spare accommodation here. So at the moment, so we kind of, what we're doing at the moment is just getting the guys to put in a footpath. I think what I would like is a come off there, there, there. What I want is the workforce in here, not in there. Train waiting too long again. Yeah, I think these guys are mutually blocking each other at the moment. I think if we send you out that way, you will go up here, do this bit. And I think what I will do is electrify that bit there. Right, I'm just gonna let the train build this up. Okay, it's got no workers. Great, thank you, game. Right, we're just gonna have to leave these guys to it. And we're going to need to electrify that bit. Right, what I'm going to do now is we're going to go back here, and what I'd like to do, if possible, is we've got this here. I don't think I've put the... What I need to do now is we're going to put the water in. Thank you, game. And I don't want to put the water down this side. Or we could do, because we're not really going to build out that much this way, are we? So if I say we put the water plant in here, although a centralized water distribution center might be better. It might be even more efficient actually as well. The trouble is, because we're going to expand the town that way, maybe if I put the water distribution into here. Now what I want is a... This is 120, this is 132. I think we'll put the water plant here. We're going to use gravel because it's a good. It's going to be a good source of actual water, of water purification. I think we'll just use a mud road into here. It's a very short distance. I think maybe we could put some residential in here. Now, where's the water going to come in from? Got two inputs from there. I think what we'll do is we got this out to here, so we can literally put... what's the terrain like here? We've got some height over here. So what we could do is we put a contingency in. We can put an old water tower up here. I know technically it doesn't need height, but a little bit of height won't do any harm. And we can then put in one of these. We'll put you up here. the risk of pollution is going to be quite low. Plus, we're going to have to put power into here as well, which is another consideration. So if we put you there, but of course we're going to need a pump here as well. Water substation. We put a big pump there. That shouldn't do any damage, because this is just going to be a warehouse for there. And then we'll go underground, large water pipe, flow into there. You can flow into there. You can flow up to there. And then of course, in keeping with the way I like to do things, oops, not get rid of that, is we'll put the water substation, put you the other way, put you alongside there. You actually would. Is there a footpath there? Yeah, we'll just tuck a little footpath in there to make a connection. We could put some fountains in here actually. Anyway, let me just do this. Or would we need any more water in this area? I think we might. So what I'll do is if I put a, can we put a water switch tucked in? Now we might want to bring a footpath through here, so I think what we'll do is if I could get you in there. But you just connect you there. Then we can a connection to there. And then we can run out. Put one connection to there. So that gives us our starting water supply. I actually feel that I can do something with this area here. I think that'll look pretty cool actually. So we can put you there. Is this a different? Put that there. Is that? Oh wow! I didn't know that. That's a cobbled square. It says it's a gravel square, but it's actually a cobbled square. Oh, that looks pretty cool. That's a that wasn't intended. That oh, didn't know that. It's going to make these look a bit odd, but we can pretend that they're just gravel footpaths running through there. I must admit, I do like that actually. That's even better than that. Anyway, so we've now got this area here. What we're going to do, we're building this. Let me just see how busy. Oh God, no! Don't do this to me again. We got a crazed arsonist working in here. Go on, fire trucks. Oh, these guys got it well under control. I'm kind of half working on building up this area here, but the problem we got is steel. I do tend to work a lot more on the steel up here. Let me just see. That needs to be done. Let me just check. We just select that. Press shift. Okay. Oops. No. What I want to do is get this area tidied up. Where am I? See if I can get this all. And again, we're just going to say high priority. I know it's having an impact on other jobs, but I think the only way I'm going to win this battle with the, how can you put it, with all this upgrading and getting rid of all these power symbols here. Oh, we got a new vehicle type. Very, very tempted. The trouble is, I'm not sure how good it actually is. Plus, the problem I've got is that we've got here, it's not available here because this is too small. Oh, heck. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, is that if we come over here and come in here and look at track builders, oh, you see it's here. This gives us a track speed of 70. This is the EDK 300. But you can see it runs on fuel, not coal. And this one runs on coal. And at the moment, because we're running on coal, we're not actually paying anything. Let me just go over to here, because I think we might be able to get a fringe benefit here. Are you running on coal or fuel? Yeah, you're running on coal as well. So they're all running on coal at the moment. So I'm going to stick with the current track builders, simply because I think the only one's running on fuel is this guy, but he's currently responsible for building the metro. You can see here we've got a lot of the metro stuff actually built now. Really don't like this, but I think we're gonna have to stick with it. Luckily it's only a service track. Let me just see what this guy is actually working on. Nothing. Okay. Wait for the auto resolve. Okay, wow. This guy is doing very, very well. Now we got this great big one. These great big ones. These are going to take quite a long time. You can see this is going to take 29,491 hours per track to actually do the tunneling. This is built. Let me just see what the tunneling is over here. Yeah, so we built the tunnel to here. We got the shorter track out here. That's going a lot quicker than I thought it would be, actually, to be honest. Which is good. I'm not complaining. Right, we've now got this here. We got this area built here. We got this section built into here. I would really like this built as well. Because if we can make this connection, what are you guys actually working on? Do we have an asphalt problem? These guys are just make sure that we don't have an asphalt problem. We do have bitumen, don't we? Yeah, we've got loads of bitumen. Okay, so it's probably just lag in the rail distribution system. This is going quite well. This side is actually working quite well. I suppose what I should do is think a little bit about putting in a proper bio farm in here. See how much fertilizer we not here, sorry, here, more stock. Because at the moment we're using this quite cack-handed system here, which is absolutely full of fertilizer. Yeah, it's overflowing. Is that starting to spread back? Just make sure. No. Does that mean all our farms are full of fertilizer? Okay. I suppose considering we're on the 18th of October, let's just see up there. I don't feel. Oh, fill work were. Hmm. We're not really. I think the problem now is that we've got a harvest that is coming in here. Okay. Okay, so we're getting crop losses from here. Question is, could I put a more... See, this farm is a large farm, but it's an old style farm. I'm just wondering, could we put in a modern large farm in here? Say we put problems, we would have to try and find some way to break this out with respect to I think if we can do that, put you here. Right. What we're going to need to do is we could put some more field, a couple of fields over here. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to put a bridge road through there. And another road there. I mean, it's completely in the wrong place, but I think we can make this work if I get rid of you there. Put another asphalt road there. What we can do is bridge into the farm here, because we're going to get a lot more vehicles into here. So what we need is the... Yeah, I think that will be the way forward. I don't want to knock this, or... Could we remove... Actually, no, maybe that's not what I want to do. Let me just... Trouble is it... No, because we can't connect to this silo. We need to connect to this silo so that the trains can deliver the crops to there. Or at the very least, actually, if we got a road connection out here, we could do it to direct delivery using trucks. Yeah, I think we can live with that long term. I've done very long range farms, especially as the game progresses and we get better and better trucks. We can do that. The other thing I could do... What are you shipping? Where are you coming from? I'm sure I've got the right one. You've actually got a fuel connection. That works even better, isn't it? Because what I could do then is an underground pipe from there to there. And that means I won't have to worry about delivering fuel to here as well. And because this road will come out here, we will be close to the first. Yeah, I think we can make this work, guys. And then we can get rid of this farm, and we could do other things that's going on. These guys just don't want to move, do they? Okay, I think we've got a working solution, is probably the polite way of saying it. I can get rid of this road here. And we've got a road to here. Let me just make sure these guys have picked up, because I want these guys working on... Yep. I think that will work. Right, let me just go back here. I'm aware that time is pushing on. Right, we've now got connection to there for the trams. We've now cleared this block here. We built the heat exchanger. The pipes built, so we are ready. But it's just too late for the year. How many over? We got 306 over 21s. What we've got to do now is let the new generation work their way through that system. We will get our ground crew on that. I think the next thing I want to do is we come here. What have we got in the way of trams? I just want to do a bit of a test. Let's see if we can get a tram in here. Search by speed. We got maximum speed and we got at the moment is 68. I think they're all 65. So we got a 13N. Right, I'm just going to get you there. Now this is a test. For some reason I got a combine harvester in here. I want to see whether the game will. Okay. It's saying there's a problem here. Because there's no power connection. Okay, I've got another solution. Come here. Right, we would need a 158,000. Painful. We need a Tatra 114P50. Let me just see that then. Probably we're going to need to get rid of that combine harvester. You go to the depot. Open hole. Capacity. And we can't buy it here. Does that mean I can't? I'd have to buy it over here. Oh, this is getting complicated. Let me just see. This is the one we wanted. A Tatra 1.14P50. Right. We can only buy this on the border. Now, I can't send it to Warstock deliberate, but first we're gonna have to send it to here. Now, so I know some of you will say, well, why am I sending it to here? The reason being is that if I show you this Tatra low loader, you can see it's actually got no fuel. What we need to do is get it to get a full load of fuel before it will actually I mean, it is theoretically possible that I can send it to the actual depot in Warstock, but that's gonna. Okay, all right, we'll give it a go, guys. I was hoping it would refuel, but it doesn't want to refuel, so. Okay. Right, what we're gonna. This guy is gonna spend a long time trying to get to the border, so so we're just gonna have to leave him. Has this been cleared? Right. Ground crew. Rebuild this, please. I mean, eventually I will fix the what we call it. This guy's out of fuel. Why are you out of fuel? Okay, fuel distribution. Oh, you're out of fuel because I didn't swap both of them. that gives me another problem. Because that means that, yep, we've got vehicles running out of fuel, we've got buses running out of fuel. The crazed arsonist has got to me. Okay, yeah, that was my mistake in the sense that, see, this is how quickly the game can mess you up really, really quickly. Let me just add you to there. How much fuel have we got? Yeah, we've got plenty of fuel. We just need the game to deliver it. Put it this way, I don't see these very often, but the game can really mess you up sometimes. The problem we're going to have here is delivery. I think they've all heard that there's some fuel. Where are you going? See where he's going. And again, this is what can happen, is that these guys have suddenly found out they got fuel. What they're going to do now is they're all going to get, where on earth are you going? Oh, yeah. See, they're all. See, this is what happens when the game runs out of fuel. These guys start chasing what little fuel's around, and what happens is it takes a little while to get a momentum going. So you can see the buses have all gone over here and fueled up. So there's fuel around, but that fuel, we can find the gas station again. Where are you? So we got 13 tons in there, but we've now got trucks wandering all over the place, and that means our industry is breaking down a little bit. But it's going to take a little while for things to settle down. And of course, if that involves food distribution, is what we got here now is a massive queue of trucks. See, now we got a traffic jam. This is how minor mistakes in this game can really sink you. Simply because what that's going to mean now is that there probably will be, oh, we don't have few food shortages at the moment, but you can see they're all trying to dive into here now. So what they're doing is they're chasing round, trying to find a gas station. So they're like a swarm of locusts going from place to place to place, trying to get fuel. Yeah, you can see these are out of fuel. What they're probably going to do now is rush over to here. I think what I might do is we're just going to increase this a little bit again as a contingency. 50%, push it up to 40%. It's going to drain the fuel out of the primary areas, but got spare fuel in there. That's good. Right, I want to just, I'm aware that I'm running out of time and I don't want this video to be too long. Oops, I've just gone the wrong way again. See, we've still got, I wouldn't mind updating this farm as well, but I'm not exactly sure how I could do it. Let me just see, because this is a small farm as well. Let me just see if we could get got a factory connection there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this field. Will a large farm will fit in there? The problem's going to be is, can I get that factory connection? To get the factory connection, we will have to delete the road. That means that what we're going to have to do is plan asphalt road through there. Can I get a... Comes the crazy arsonist is back. Let me just do this. I'm going to pause the game while I do this. No, it's not going to. It will, but it won't get. We're going to have to remove that road. So I think we can work with this. I built. It's going to be a bit of a risk, as I can get that. Can I get that road over a little bit further? How close can I get this road to this field without it? We're just overlapping that field by a smidge. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, if we can build this road. We can make that high priority. Get this into here. Moral of the story is, when you're planning farms with an early start and you're using these old large farms, what you need to do is lay this out so that you can actually do a large one. Okay, let's just see. You've got to be kidding me. Where is this? Oh, the fire trucks are here. Okay, all done. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is play through until we get rid of the snow. Here we can see the fields have all gone. We've got losses from these fields here. So we do definitely need a bigger farm here. See what losses we took over here. We took some losses along the bottom of here, which is understandable because this farm is going this way. But we got a lot of crops from this farm, which is good. If we come to over here, so we didn't actually lose that much from, we only lost 3 fields and we got 1,141 in there, 3,000 tons in there, into here. I think this farm, eventually what I might do is, if I can get a regular supply of crops into this area, I think this farm, what I might do is completely reshape it. So eventually we'll keep the silo, but what we'll probably do is tear up all this infrastructure and put another large farm in here. And then we could possibly, although technically this actually clears all the fields, maybe we don't need a large to upgrade this farm. Anyway, I'm getting distracted, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.